Hi, this is from my book on parenting. It's chapter 3. And since I can't memorize a whole chapter at once, I'm going to be reading it to you. So this is called The Best Kid in the Whole World. You know, parents spend so much time and so much energy worrying about doing it right. Either it's, oh my God, I sound just like my raging mother, or it's, my sainted mother would have known how to do this so much better. And at other times, you'll hear yourself saying, yesterday I was a drill sergeant, and today I'm so wimpy that I couldn't enforce anything. Alas, my kids will spend the rest of their lives in therapy if I don't get some consistency. And here's a really common one. I'm a basket case. My kids see me crying all the time. As opposed to that other you who bemoans, I'm a robot. My kids will never learn how to express their feelings. Whoa, I don't know how to do this. So I say, relax. The experts, as we appreciate them, have come through once again to save the day and to save your sanity. They've presented us with a study, of course, in which researchers interviewed young adults who considered themselves to be happy and fulfilled. You kind of wonder where they found those kids, but anyway. When asking about how they were parented, it turned out that their success had little or even nothing to do with whether their parents were lenient or strict or even consistent. The kids didn't care. The common thread running through all these lives was that their parents really dug them. They thought that their kid was the best kid in the whole world. And I say, isn't yours? And you must know that being the best kid has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with being the smartest or the most beautiful or the healthiest or the most talented. But it has everything to do with the very essence of your child. Can you feel that? A sense of recognition of that child belonging specifically to you. By birth, maybe, but by soul, absolutely. And this precious being has been placed into your arms, or at the very least, placed into your heart by God. And God must have known what he or she was doing. And therefore, you must know that this child must inevitably be the best kid in the entire world for you. It can't be a coincidence. If your child arrives with issues that are the biggest challenges for you specifically, that's on purpose. Every child comes complete with any lesson that you need to learn. And so say thank you. Your child is exactly what you ordered. So love one another so profoundly, so deeply, that both of you will become more of yourselves this lifetime. Therefore, this child can't be anything less than the perfect child for you. And if you don't know that, then why not? Think about that. Could it be that you believe that someone as imperfect as you perceive yourself to be couldn't possibly produce a masterpiece child? Do you express your own dissatisfaction with yourself through criticizing your child? Not to mention yourself. And by the way, it really confuses a child if you're constantly putting yourself down. They need you to be their hero. So if it's you or your child that you are criticizing, please just stop. It's not fair, and criticism doesn't even work. And such behavior makes life harder for everyone involved. And think again, are you your favorite person in the whole wide world? And if not, why not? Your child will have a much better chance of succeeding if you really love yourself. I know. I'm not implying that it's easy to learn to love yourself. Most of you have kept yourself safe by not loving yourself. But at least be conscious of the source of your judgment. A child cannot love herself if she perceives her parents as worthless, because she's made of them. I can tell you 2 stories. Both are extreme cases, but they will help you understand. First, when we were raising our adopted children, we bought a life-size teddy bear, bigger than me, actually. If the child had been abused by their mom, then I would sit behind the teddy bear and using my voice to speak for the mom. If the child had been abused by their dad, my husband would sit behind the bear using his male voice to communicate with the child. And the child was invited to say anything they wanted to their birth parent, or to us, but that's a different story. The conversation often began with hesitancy and shyness and ambivalence. Because how do you greet someone who you have been taken away from? Because they hurt you or neglected you, or just didn't have the skill to parent. But you know, the kids didn't stay hesitant for long because they knew that we were present to protect them from physical or emotional hurt. And therefore, our children were free to express their love for their dear birth parents. And soon they would begin to sob, "I love you, I miss you." But very quickly, they would slip into punching and ripping off the teddy bear's ears and their arms. And then the screams would rip out of their mouths. "Why did you rape me, burn me, leave me, neglect me? I hate you." And they would be beating on the bare chest with just this stunning rage. Ironically safe to do so because they understood that their unblocked rage could not hurt this bear and that their birth parents were safe. And then, just as suddenly, they would collapse into the arms of this bear, allowing themselves to love again, and then hate again, and then love again, as they must because they are made of this parent. And somehow, magically, eventually the love and the hate would integrate so that this child could find a way to be okay with being made of this person. And unless true integration occurs, she or he will spend the rest of their lives playing out being the worst person in the world or the best. And I ask you, which part do you play out in society? With your mate? With your parenting? Are you the best or the worst? And are you waiting for them to judge you? And my final story, the times when our children were the happiest was when we invited their birth parents into our home. We shared a meal, or we played games, or we cuddled, all of us. And finally, the children were whole. They loved that we loved their parents, because that must mean that the children were made of something good. And finally, they got to be the best kid in the whole world.